Now, as a guy who grew up in London, I've seen many things. The absolute glaze football gets and how it genuinely affects people's lives. Everybody wearing the exact same fits, moving like a bunch of NPCs. And the crazy chokehold chicken and chips tags. Cause I'm gonna be real here. As soon as Popeyes came to the UK, I've been ordering this shit non-stop. The chicken here is definitely not from this planet. This shit is amazing. This shit is nice, juicy, and tender. You can definitely tell it's made fresh. This is what they were crashing out over in the boondocks. I swear down, it's too goated. But let's get serious here. With all the things I've witnessed in my life, from seeing a bunch of tragedies, world threats, or even some dumb shit, I've realized something. Something so crazy. Something so mind-blowing. Something so mad, you won't understand it until I break it down to you. Bro, wasted potential is disgusting. There's always that one person or people who get hold for no reason. They pop off and go crazy for a little bit, then some shenanigans go down and they become trash. And this trope happens constantly. It's almost in everything. TV shows, games, anime, my left kidney, everything. Some of these characters would be some of the best people we've ever seen. They would be whooping ass, have a great story, be a great side character to the main character, and would have some of the peakest moments we would all be guessing about. Then almost a season later, they're fodder, they're trash. Wasted potential in shows is too common. I can understand why it happens to an extent, because to most characters they can't end up being better than the MC. That's a given. But it shouldn't mean you just dash these men out and make them useless, man. We like them. So today I thought I would go through some characters who genuinely could have been something. And as I start taking off my glasses to get serious here, let's jump right in, man. And I'm gonna cut to it. Every side character in Naruto is garbage. And I don't mean garbage as in they suck or they're trash. I mean garbage because the plot holds them. Now hopefully we're all familiar with the gem that is Naruto. And if you're not, what the hell is wrong with you? Everybody knows what the hell Naruto is. To the majority of all anime consumers, it's their number one. This, One Piece, or Bleach. But to me, Dragon Ball Z, ain't no shit touching that. I'm biased. I'll be real, I'm biased. Naruto is one of those animes I think we can all agree doesn't have that much problems to it. It has an amazing story, cold power systems and transformations, the animation when they're about to box goes crazy, and it has a lot of great, likable, tough characters some of us have similarities to and can understand. And then when you get to Shippuden, half of these characters are ass. And I hated this, man. Do you know how sick most of the characters in OG Naruto were? They were dumb, stupid, crazy. You know how much I used to glaze Rock Lee? I say this with my chest. He was the best character, I swear. He was a legend. He came in on smoke. He whooped Naruto and Sasuke. Started spitting game to Sakura. And right after the Toho told him to chill out, he went telling Sasuke he ain't shit. He was just practicing. And he didn't care about him being an Uchiha. He just wanted to beat his ass and run his fade. And he beat the brakes off him. He violated. When he came to save Team 7 after Naruto and Sasuke got packed, and Sakura was the only one standing, the guy pulled a whole root of a tree out of the flipping floor. And don't forget, this guy has no chakra, no powers, no nothing. So this is just physical feats alone. He was a different breed. And we all know about the peak fight I'm about to mention now, Rock Lee versus Gaara. We know this story too well, man. As soon as he took off those weights, that's when we got one of the greatest fights in anime history. He was out here teleporting and flash stepping Gaara and threw the heftiest bang in his face. And then Gaara started tweaking. This guy was smiling like a demon. He was enjoying this shit. And during their fight, when Lee struggles to beat Gaara's absolute defense, that's where we get one of the best moments in Naruto. The man transforms and uses the fourth gate and starts finessing Gaara. He was soloing him, beating the brakes out of him at top speeds. This fight was one of the peakest moments I've ever seen. It had me gassing. But unfortunately, Lee lost the fight. Gaara's arm and leg broken by Gaara. It was crazy. He beat the shit out of Gaara so bad. He was living in this man's mind rent free. It got him so pressed. He tried to kill this guy in the hospital. This guy got his ass handed to him so bad he tried to murder the guy in his sleep. That's weak, bro. That's trash. But Rock Lee, compared to the rest of the shinobi in the Chunin exams, was just different. His whole story of how he was born with no ninjutsu or genjutsu and had to work twice as hard to be put into the same positions as those who had chakra was a story I could get behind. Lee hustled his ass to the top to be a well-respected shinobi, working endlessly day and night for his goal to come true, even getting the help of Guy Sensei to be his teacher to help him become the best he can. And he was proving that in the early stages of Naruto at the Chunin exams. Sasuke was even copying his taijutsu because he knew he was cold. Even in the middle of the Sasuke retrieval arc when he was using drunken fists against Kimimaro, he was holding his own while he was drunk. He's different. But then when you get to Naruto Shippuden, he was written out of the story. He did nothing. The whole show embraced him as a side character and just dashed him out the story completely. Lee played more of a support character than he did to go out boxing like the rest of them. He wasn't even there when Pain attacked the Elite Village, but Kiba was there. That's some bullshit. What the hell is that about? He had no crazy fights like he did in the first series, contributed nothing to major arcs like the 4th Ninja War, and was basically left to be forgotten. He was benched in Shippuden. You gave more screen time to Kiba and Tenten than Rock Lee. That's some horseshit, man. That's some crap. Now when it comes to Shippuden, they benched a lot of side characters, and I can understand why. Everybody in Shippuden got overpowered way too quickly. It became more about busted releases, clan abilities, a story that furthered into more overpowered individuals, and tail beasts than it was in the first series about it just being better ninjas. I mean, Naruto was out here learning stage mode and being better with Kurama to break into his 9 tails chakra mode. Sasuke was getting a new Sharingan every 5 seconds. Rinnegan came in and we saw how busted it was. There was a lot going on here. So in terms of new techniques and moves being shown off, and with Lee just being a human human who can box, I can see why Lee wouldn't fit into the story due to all these powers coming in at once. But at the same time, we weren't done with this guy yet. After he whooped Sasuke before the Chunin exams, Lee spoke to him about somebody he was even more eager to fight than him, Neji. And we never got the fight between Lee and Neji. It never happened. How can you get this man to show his feats against a bunch of other ninjas but not against the man he sought out to beat in the first place? A fight between Lee and Neji would have definitely made a Naruto top 10 moment. That would have charted. How did we never get this? It would have been peak. He also said he learned how to use the 6th gate out of all the 8 gates, but we never saw that either. He didn't progress anymore as a ninja and had no more growth or development anymore, and the most he did in Shippuden was just fight some clones. I can't remember nothing else he did there. There was nothing else he did. To see Rock Lee go from pulling some of the greatest anime scenes to ever exist to him just being out of sight and nowhere in major parts of Shippuden had me depressed. Rock Lee was that guy. Rock Lee was the first anime character I saw that preached hard work beats talent. He was consistently training every day, showing up, not listening to the people hating, and came in on smoke throughout the majority of his appearances. And then in Shippuden, they just dashed him to the side. And with Rock Lee, he's one of a couple major characters who went through this shit in Naruto. Neji was definitely just as wasted. He was the strongest ninja in the Chunin exams. He was dashing smoke to everyone. He literally had moves to counter everything. Gentle fist, rotation, air palm, all of that. And then he died to 2 sticks, literally standing there to be a human shield. What the hell was that, man? Neji's death was so dumb. That shit was so rushed. His death happened in under 3 episodes, and apparently it was just a plot device to bring Hinata and Naruto closer. So he died just for relationship development. That's garbage, man. That's shit. Neji was gonna fix the Hyuga clan. You should have left him in the story. What kind of bullshit is that? This guy was a prodigy. He was the first guy after the time skip from his Genin class to become a Jonin. This guy was sick. Even Shino was wasted. He was a different breed back then. I even think Shino should have gone in the Sasuke retrieval art than Kiba. He probably would have smoked the Sound 5 much quicker. But Kiba, man, I hate this guy. Naruto wasted a lot of characters. They hyped them up so much in the earlier seasons just for all of them to become fodder and almost do nothing later on. Like, if your name wasn't Naruto or Sasuke, you were cooked, I'll be honest. You were probably sitting on the bench. But we at least should have seen more of those who had a bigger impact on the earlier seasons. Not as much as they did before, but just a lot more to chime in time and time again. Cause I would see bums like Kiba and Tenten on my screen a lot more than Lee or Neji. And I swear to God, these guys are garbage, man. They suck. Overhaul from My Hero Academia. Now, if you're not familiar with this man, his powers are dumb as hell. Overhaul has the ability to disassemble and reassemble matter, which basically lets the guy do whatever the hell he wants. If he touches you, you can just blow up. He can break the ground and create any type of structure he wants, or he can even steal quirks with people by fusing with them. Like when Overhaul first made his appearance against the League of Villains, this guy blew up Magna and took Compressor's arm. This guy's a sicko. Now I'm straight up gonna tell the truth here. Overhaul at the time felt like more of a menace than Shigaraki, I'm not gonna lie. He's the leader of a Yakuza. He tortured and abused Eri so he could create quirk erasing bullets. And he's a whole germaphobe, which is ironic since he has to touch things to even use his power. And the man is just ruthless. Overhaul is a monster. He doesn't care about anyone and will use anybody to get what he wants. He'll pack you off with no hesitation. The only person he shows genuine care for and respects is his boss. And he doesn't even like this guy enough. He put him in a coma. Overhaul is evil. Even the League of Villains didn't rate him on what he was doing. They thought he was tripping, but he had an interesting worldview. The reason why he started creating quirk erasing bullets was because he thought of quirks as a disease. He saw them as unnatural and as a mutation. And in turn, he created the bullets to get rid of quirks, so society could be more leveled. He also did it as a power move for the Yakuza, since if he erased the quirks from multiple hero and villain organizations, he could put the Yakuza on top and probably become one of the most powerful crime groups in the city. He was also selling the bullets to villains to make a profit off of them, so his group could get some peas. Which doesn't make sense, because he can literally disassemble and reassemble matter, which means in theory he can make money. He could just make money. So why would you sell shit for it? That shit ain't adding up. And of course, to even create these bullets, he traumatized and manipulated a child to flip and do this shit, which automatically makes him a messed up guy. So with all the evil this man committed, all the heinous activities, maniacal tendencies, and just all around being a giant prick, this guy's whole villain story was short-lived as hell. Overhaul was built up to be some serious big bad, like he had the potential to be just as bad as a villain like All For One. Until Midoriya came in, went 1,000,000%, finessed this guy and rocked his shit. And while he was in a prison transit van, the League of Villains just come in, trash the security and the van, and then Shigaraki and Compress just take both his arms off, which made the guy useless now. He can't do shit. How do you go from being on some kingpin shit to getting packed up in a couple of episodes to losing your powers? Now this guy can't do anything. When we see him again when all the villains break out of prison, look how depressed this guy is. He's broken. Overhaul had potential. His ideology on quirks and how he was against them was an interesting approach. The fact that he created quirk erasing bullets to hold power against people with quirks, sell them for a profit, and to uplift his own organization was genius. And he's a proper bad guy, man. Like, he would threaten Eri constantly and pack people up just for the sake of it. This guy even killed off Night Eye. He didn't care about anything. And his all-round qualities are what I think made him such a crazy character. But we never got to see more of him. He became useless. As soon as they raided his Yakuza base and they got Eri back, that was the end of Overhaul. He was a one and done villain. He came in on smoke, and then 50 episodes later, he was finished. And if you compare him to other villains, I don't think it's fair to say that Chisaki couldn't have stayed more consistent in the story. Villains like Stain, who still show up time and time again and had key and consistent roles in the story, and even General, who switched up from being a villain to doing good in the late seasons. But as soon as Shigaraki took Overhaul's arms away, it was done here. It was finito. Overhaul was one of the coldest anime villains I've seen in a minute. I mean, his powers are unique. He's low-key just a pure evil guy, and he's a gang boss who doesn't give a shit about anybody and plays everyone like it's a game of chess. Like, he doesn't care about anyone. He will pack you up for no reason. This guy's a sicko. And the fact that they took this guy away and now he looks like this, we could have seen more from him. Nah, he could have been more. And now I'm gonna go with anime for this last pick I got, and that is Silver the Hedgehog from Sonic. Now, Silver is a character who hasn't done that much since 06. The guy just slowly migrated into the shadows after being in objectively one of the worst games of all time. Sonic 06 is a bunch of bullshit, from its terrible glitches to its very, very questionable moments. But out of the majority of problems to ever come out of this game, Silver was definitely one of the best things they ever created. Now, if you're not familiar with Silver, let me give you a quick rundown. Silver is a time-traveling hedgehog from the future with psychic abilities who goes back to the past to try and stop the end of his world after Mephiles convinces him that Sonic is the reason why the future is garbage. So him and Blaze go back in time, and the rest of the shit goes down. You find Sonic, gets finessed by Shadow, Blaze dies, he goes Super Saiyan, and he returns to the future where everything is probably peachy. Then after this, you never get to play Silver again. The backlash of this game was so bad that they completely scrapped him as a playable character forever. And the majority of Sonic fans, myself included, have wanted some sort of story and gameplay with Silver forever. He's too goated. Silver is a telekinetic powered hedgehog. He's different compared to the usual high-speed gameplay you get with both Sonic and Shadow in most Sonic games. Instead, it's a whole different playstyle, and it changes the whole vibe in a good way. It's similar to how in the adventure games you'd have fast-paced levels, treasure hunting, and them shit mech stages with Tails and Eggman. I used to hate that shit. I swear to God, they're arse. I'd rather fish as big man, they're trash. Also, the stories in Sonic 06 were good, and Silver's story was peak. From him traveling back to the past to find the Iblis trigger, being conflicted about trying to kill Sonic for a better world, learning the truth to who Mephiles is and what his goals are, to even him watching Blaze sacrifice herself and him grieving at it. Silver was an interesting character from jump, and as a kid, I used to rate him heavy and find him as relatable, if not more than the other two. Silver comes off as a flawed character in terms of being the goofy and newest one to being a hero. It's like to Sonic is second nature to him. He's cocky about it, and he already knows he's about that shit and is a hero. Whereas to Silver, he comes off as it's all fairly new to him, and he's not used to being a hero yet, which I can get behind. That's human. The fact that Sega wanted nothing to do with Silver after the events of 06 was the biggest mistake these men made. Silver quickly became a popular character for a majority of people. I mean, that's why he's even in later titles, like being a boss in Generations and playable in racing games. I mean, I even heard in the comics he's tough. I don't read the comics, so I wouldn't know, but I hear that shit. Silver always stood out to me growing up. I never understood why some people hate this guy. I've always just had shit to work on. And in 06, he was doing right to try and save his world. Like, the first image I had of Silver when I first saw him was Future Trunks. Like, he's just the Sonic World's Future Trunks, and that's how it was to me. Silver later on just became more and more relevant as the time passed. With Sega solely focusing on characters like Sonic and Shadow, they threw the last member of the Triple S trio out the window. All Silver does now is sit in the background of some cutscenes and gets his ass whooped. Besides that, he does nothing. And it's disheartening to see since Silver is a goated character. If Sega today were to announce they're gonna make Silver playable in another 3D platformer, just shut up and take my money. I'm copying that shit effective immediately. Are you mad? They can add so much more to his backstory since he comes from the future and could even add more storylines, like how Dragon Ball does with the androids and Goku Black. We could really get some time travel shenanigans in Sonic games if we made Silver an MC. That would go crazy. People would probably rush out their houses at top speed to buy this game. Sega, this is $1 million idea. You should pay me for this. I'm not gonna lie. Silver is the definition of wasted potential. His first appearance in the game was fire. His powers are different and unique, giving you a whole different perspective and playstyle, and it makes it special to him. His personality is different. Him being a lot more self-aware and misguided gives more of a sense of relatability. And he all around could be one of the best characters in the game. Shit, I already think he is. And if he was given the chance, I think really and truly we should get another game with Silver being playable. Or with how they made Shadow Generations and gave him a whole game where it went further into Shadow as a character, they could do the same for Silver. I mean, imagine a year for Silver. That would be cold. And in conclusion, Sega, stop sleeping on this guy, bro. Give him a game, man. He deserves it. But these were some characters I thought had wasted potential. And the majority I talked about were anime characters, but I had to throw Silver in it too. If you got any more characters or disagree with the ones I mentioned in this video, write them down in the comments below. I appreciate all you man for tuning in. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one. And one more thing, Jet the Hawk is playable in Crossroads. Let's go.